so windy. It was windy all day yesterday and all last night. Well, it hasn't stopped today either. I've got so many plums falling in the garden. I've collected up loads. Some of them are damaged and they've got maggots in, and I've left them. They can go in the green wheelie bin. But I've got a great big bowl full of pretty decent ones, so I'm going to be making some jam, I think. It's still windy. It's crazy. Yeah, so some of you have been following my journey and you'll know that I've been battling with the Mosaic virus in the garden. It's had a devastating effect on so many of my crops this year. I've lost so much. So I thought, well, I've got to do something for recovery. So I turned my attention to the soil. If you've got really good healthy soil, it's crumbly, it's free draining. If we turn to the compacted soil, and there are several reasons why it is so bad for the garden. Firstly, if you look at a sponge has got lots of little air pockets and it will absorb water. But if you've got a solid object and you pour water on it, it's just going to run off. It's very, very much the same with compacted soil. It just prevents water absorption. Also, if you've got compacted soil, it reduces the level of oxygen that's available to the life that needs to survive. Third reason is, if you imagine a plant establishing itself, we all know that if we water too much, the roots gradually just come to the surface of the soil, because roots are designed to search for water, and if you keep providing water on the surface, that's where the roots will go. But if you've got really good friable soil, the roots can penetrate and go deeper and deeper and search for its natural level of water. So that's the first three things. Then if you think about roots penetrating, if you've got compacted soil and you sow your seeds, then you're going to get poor germination, because the seeds, as they germinate, will produce roots. But if they can't get established, if they can't penetrate to find water, then it's not going to be successful at all. And number 5 is, if you're denying the plants the level of water they need to survive, the oxygen they need to survive, all the healthy bacteria that aids the development of the plants, it provides nutrients and all those kind of things, then the plants are going to become more and more weakened. You've all seen the house plant where people are not quite sure how much to water a plant. You often get leaves drop, they go very yellow, or the soil shrinks because there's not enough water. It's the same on a larger scale. So if the plants aren't healthy, then they can't protect themselves against the pests and diseases, and the pathogens can just take over. So that's the 5 main reasons why compacted soil is going to be bad for the garden. So I thought I'd just tell you about the goal I set myself today. The idea is to dig over the main bed. We'll have to gradually do the other 2 beds as they become empty, but I'm hanging on to my peas to see how long I can get away with it. The beans, I know I should really take them out, but I'm so reluctant to at the moment because they've got so many pods on them. But the wind might have a say in that as well, because they've been really blown about. I'll have another think tomorrow. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to dig over the bed completely with the fork. I'm going to go down the depth of the tines, turn it all over and break the soil up. And when that's done, I'll start to add the organic matter, which is the farmyard manure and the compost and some fish blood and bone as well. But I better crack on because I'm racing against the time. So let's see how I get on. Yeah, it's really compacted in places, so it's going to need a lot of work. Just spent the entire morning digging this over for the second time and working really hard to break up any large clumps. There was some big bits of clay that just didn't want to be broken up, so I've got rid of that. But I can now dig a good 8 to 10 inches unhindered, so I'm so pleased. So my next task, I've got 3 bags of farmyard manure and 3 bags of compost, so I'm going to mix that all together and gradually cover the whole bed. I'm going to add some blood, fish and bone as well, and then I'm going to dig that in, so that'll be the 3rd time it'll be dug. Then I'm going to rake it, and that's it, done. That's me done for the day. I'm absolutely exhausted. Oh, I've been digging that over for hours and then lifting heavy bags, and I'm glad we don't have smelly vision. Oh my goodness, the garden stinks. It absolutely reeks. I don't know what my neighbours are going to be thinking, but it had to be done, and hopefully now this bed will have the boost that it needs. So I'm going to go and have some lunch. In fact, I've got a craving for fish and chips, so I might just go and have a shower and then go and get myself some fish and chips. So I'll see you all later.